Hi everyone and welcome to this exclusive episode of In the Sewers. Now, I was given an amazing opportunity to sit down and talk with a prolific musician who has worked with some of the biggest names in rock and heavy metal. He started off with Doro in her band Warlock in 1986. He then moved on to doing some of his own projects as well as working with CC DeVille for a little bit. He also worked with Jeff Pilson from Dokken, but eventually he started working with Alice Cooper, which is where I know him from. I first saw this guy perform with Alice Cooper while they were opening up for Motley Crue when they were doing their first farewell tour. Of course, I'm talking about Tommy Henriksen. He is also a songwriter, a producer, and he does loads of different things. He's a boy who was born and raised in New York City and had big dreams of being a rock and roll star. Now, here is what we got talking about. Hi, Tommy. Thank you so much for joining GlamRat. How are you doing today? Are you okay?
Everything's good. I'm alive. I'm above ground, so I'd say it's a good day.
I was
You
going to
know,
say, that's a pretty good day, to be fair. That's doing all right. You're on
right?
tour at the moment, aren't you? Whereabouts are you today?
We're in California somewhere. I don't know where, because I haven't looked at the sheet. I just wake up when I get off the bus. I'm like, okay. I look at the thing. Okay, we got this show tonight. Blah blah blah. But we're in California at some casino, so we're with Alice Cooper tonight.
With Alice Cooper. Yes, you've been with Alice Cooper for quite a while. You've been with him since what, 2011, according to my notes that I've written down. That's quite a long time to be with somebody.
I started working on before that, so
Wait,
theoretically, I've been working on since like 2008, 2009, somewhere around there. Yeah, and I didn't join the band until 2011 when he offered me to join the band, and I was like, and I did, which was the best move I ever did. Can't thank Alice enough for that or Bob Ezrin, you know.
I mean, that was the first time I first saw you in 2015 when Alice Cooper was supporting Motley Crue on their first version of their farewell tour.
I knew they weren't going to retire. They can't retire. They love it too much. Who's going to retire? You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like, you just have to keep going. And I gotta admit, like you guys absolutely stole the stage. But that was the first time you graced my presence. But you've been working in music for a long time, haven't you?
Long time, very long time. I've been doing it since I was started when I was 13 years old. So, and I haven't stopped since, and I'm 60 right now.
I was
So,
gonna say you had a big birthday this year, didn't you? Back in February?
yeah, February 21st. Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel good. You know, I don't feel like I'm 60 years old. I still feel like I'm 25. I think I feel better
You don't
now than
look like you're 60 either. I gotta admit, when I saw that when I was doing my research, I was like, no way. Like,
yeah,
rock and roll must be an ageless process, maybe.
black hair dye actually helps a lot too.
Good bit of hairdressing tends to work. Yeah, definitely.
But the thing is, I don't do any drugs. So I never got into drinking and drugs and all that shit. Been drunk once my whole life. That was it when I was like 19. Never been, and plus, I don't, I'm not one of those guys who preaches anything. I just do what works for me. And what works for me is I eat once, twice a day if I'm lucky. I drink too much coffee. I don't work out. And, I just try to eat whatever the hell I want.
So you're very blessed in that sense. You're very blessed.
Wes, I think it's more like I'm very how would I say that? I'm not I'm trying to think of the word right now. I'm just like I stick to one thing if it's working, you know what I mean?
Yeah, don't
uh
broke if it ain't fixed.
yeah,
Like, yeah,
it's just one of those things. I just like always watch what I'm doing, you know what I mean? It's like I'm like always aware of shit, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Not in my own world like most people are. I'm aware of everything around me and people around
yeah,
me. And I
yeah.
care about people too, which
Of
is
course you do. Exactly. You need to be like that in life. Well,
exactly.
you got your coffee there, you're ready to go, so you're all out there. But recently, you've brought out some of your own music. So not only do you do stuff with Alice, and you've worked with a lot of other people as well, but you've also brought out Crossbones Scully and your latest single, Dope. Last time I checked, everyone's on Dope. You got 79,717 plays on Spotify, according to the UK. I don't know what, don't know if there's a time lapse or anything like that over there, but that's insane. You worked with Mutt Lange on that as well.
Yeah.
How was that to
Um,
work with Mutt Lange?
Well, Working with Mutt Lange, first of all, is a gift. I call it a gift from the gods, and just being, I've learned so much from songwriting process, and just the art of it. Where, I'd tell people, go, "Yeah, I wrote the song in 4 hours." I go, "Okay, good for you." Takes me months sometimes to write a song, with Mutt Lange, which is cool because it's a process. And he always says, it's a process and we never look back. We always keep on moving forward. We never go back to the demo. We just keep on trugging along until all of a sudden he says, it's good. And all of a sudden I go, okay, cool. And that's it. And then we're done. But as far as I think the streams and stuff like that, this is all the fans are doing this. There's no
Yeah.
like emotional push behind Crossbone Scully. There's no gimmick. There's no
No.
no. We're not wearing. It's like all this weird, except the drummer. He did wear because my whole thing with Scully is it's like I love Alex Harvey. So when we were doing the video and Tuesday couldn't make it, the drummer, I called up Alex Bach and I said, you know what, man? I go, you've got to be, if you're going to be in the video, you got to be the mime. I go, just look at the Alex Harvey stuff, dude. Just be that guy. You know what I mean? Because
Just go and do that for a bit.
that's a big inspiration for me too on this stuff. It's Alex Harvey, Bon Scott, AC/DC, Def Leppard, Kraftwerk, The Car. I mean, all of that stuff I love. That's what Crossbone Scully is everything, every type of genre of music that I love. There's even like country stuff in there. I wouldn't really call it country. It's like, you
Because I
know,
couldn't put my finger on what kind of genre you were trying to lay into. But like you said, sometimes music is more about the feel than the genre. It's what you're vibing with at the time. And I got to admit, I was quite AC/DC inspired, especially with Everyone's on Dope. I was very AC/DC inspired on that one. But like the rest of it like, you can't put your finger on it. So I'm glad you said that as well, because I thought, is it just me being dense and not following following the vibe? But it was good.
I love Pink Floyd. I love like stuff that, that's the cool thing. Of course, people are going to compare it to AC/DC, which I love, but the thing is, we have keyboards and all this stuff. There's weird guitar bits, there's weird songs, you know what I mean? Like Everyone's on Dope. When I sang that, I was just like, just singing stuff that I was like, all right, what can I sing about today? All right, what pisses me off today? Fuck, just humans.
Just people in general, just the world.
Everyone's kind of in their own world, you know what I mean? I really feel like sometimes people aren't looking around, and seeing what's really going on and having a little empathy for other people and stuff. And I always try and make it uplifting at the same time. I'll make fun of myself, but lyrically, I'm always like looking to have it be where it's an empowered and it's also just making you think about stuff, like religion, politics, fucking sex, you know, everything I could think of. That's what I throw in there. You know what I mean?
I
So it's
like
my life,
that.
you know?
Yeah, it's like a nice process. But like you were born in New York, so how have you ended up living in Switzerland? How did that happen?
How I ended up in Switzerland, I met my wife, you know what I mean? So that's the only reason why a man would ever move from beautiful Los Angeles, you know what I mean, to Switzerland.
There's a lot
But
more snow.
plus, my son, it's a great environment for my son, you know what I mean? It's like great for him to grow up there because it's very people are really polite. I mean, there's assholes everywhere. Don't get me wrong. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's just the way it is. There's assholes of every fucking ethnicity, color, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I'd rather not be an asshole, but anyway, with him growing up, I think it's really great for him.
Well,
So
that's awesome because I think I read somewhere that you joined Warlock in 1986. You were 22. How like how amazing must that have been to work in
uh,
the 80s in like quite a big like heavy metal band at the time? Like how did that come about?
I was playing in this club band called Rough Cut with my brother and this guy John Ruggia. We were playing all around like the tri-state area, New York, New Jersey, Long Island, Connecticut, and we were really popular. And this guitar player named Tommy Bolin was friends with the producer, and they needed a bass player. And Doro called me up. I went down to the studio. I met them all, and then she wanted me to be in the band. I was like, I remember listening to stuff going, I don't even know who the fuck who is this girl? You know what I mean? I didn't know, and all of a sudden they play me the Fight for Rock thing. I was like, oh, I saw that video on MTV, I think. And then, I went home and I said to my mother, I don't know if I really want to do this because it's not really my bag of tea, the music. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And because at the time, I was just like, I don't know, I was into the Who, fucking Aerosmith, the Kinks,
Yeah.
stuff. I wasn't like a full-on metal dude, but my mother said, "Go join the band, go do it, go see the world," and I did. And
What your
Dora,
mama tells you.
I did, and it was great. I learned a lot. I learned like how not to get rid. Anyway, that's another story.
That's a whole different kettle of fish. Doro talked to me about that situation when I talked to her a couple of years ago. And
Yeah.
yeah, what a mess. But then you were also in CC DeVille's band, Needle Park, for a bit too. Oh, I've been reading. I've been reading. So you were in
Yeah.
that. And then you
Yeah.
worked with Jeff Pilson as well, who, if anybody doesn't know, is in Dokken or was of Dokken. His band War and Peace. But then my favorite thing is your alias when you were in Poll or Parade of Losers, and you were
Yeah.
called the Skunk. How
That's
did
it.
that come about?
I've had about, I don't know, 1,300 lives already. I don't know. It's like I just keep on. With CC DeVille, that was like probably the worst time to ever be in a band with him because that's when he was at his really like druggiest moment ever. And Kelly Hansen, lead singer of Foreigner, he was a singer at the time too.
Hmm.
And James Kotak, who just recently passed away, was the drummer. And the only ones who weren't partying were me and Kelly. I didn't party, you know what I mean? And that lasted maybe I think 6 months. We did it, and then they fired Kelly, and then I got fired, and then the thing just fell apart. And then, you know, the good thing, Cece's clean and sober now, and it's a great end. And unfortunately for James Kodak, it's like it sucked. He never really got it back together, and it's sad, that when you find out one of your fellow friends and musicians passes away, fucking stuff like that. And I feel for him. But as far as Pilson's one of my dearest and best friends ever. Even though I don't talk to Jeff every day, I've learned so much from Jeff musically. He taught me a lot about life, like because he's a deep guy, Pilson, and I learned a lot from Russ Parrish from Steel Panther. He was in the band, you know what I mean? And there's so many like people that I've been really fortunate to like work with, and learn from.
You
And
have. You've worked with so many people, including like Daughtry, Meatloaf, and obviously Alice as well. But like, how do you get about doing that? Do you prefer being a producer or do you prefer being a songwriter? Like, or do you just like just doing whatever feels good? Is that just the vibe that you go with?
well, not to move forward though, but I just produced Mark Storace's from Crocus, his new record that's about to come out that came out amazing. And I haven't produced in a long time because I kind of got like burnt out and jaded from because a lot of the artists you work with, no one wants to give you the right credit. They screw you on everything. So I was like, what do I want to do this for? I put in all this time and work into it, and no one wants to give you the proper credit. Like I don't want to do it anymore. So getting back into it, Mark's the first thing that I've actually produced in years because I said to Mark, I was like, listen, dude, if we make a record, I was like, I want to make a record that's like classic Crocus, but like 2024 with Mark Storace singing, dude. And
Yeah, man.
let me do my thing. And Mark, and it came out, I got to tell you, it came out amazing. I can't wait for people to hear it. The guy said he's like 74 and he still sounds like 19 fucking 82 Headhunter. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Nice. That's it. That's the great thing as well, because like you mentioned, you grew up with like Aerosmith, and sadly, Aerosmith have had to call it a day. Do you think there's ever a right time for bands to call it a day? Or, I mean, Alice is still going and he still sounds great. But then Motley Crue, they tried to go away and then they came back, and then Kiss has been up and down and backwards and forwards again, like yo-yos. Do you think there's ever a right time to just say, do you know what? I need to chill out.
I don't know. I think it's up to the artist. Whenever they feel like they've had enough of it, you know what I mean? Like with Steven Tyler, like that, I think it's very respectable of him to say, I can't perform at that level and I'm not gonna, go out there and phone it in, which I think is like, I admire that. I go, fuck, I like that. That, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Go out- Like, I swear to God, if I had a hit record like Alanis Morissette when she did it back in the day, she was done. I said, I'm done. And then, now she's back again, which is cool. I respect that when people do stuff like that. You know what I mean? But if they want to keep on going, I think that's, to each his own. If they want to keep on rocking, they think they could still bring it. Fuck, bro. I mean, look at Mick Jagger. I mean, guys out there,
Yeah.
these guys are still killing it. AC/DC. I just saw him like about 3.5 weeks ago, and I was blown away. I mean, it's not you don't look at AC/DC and go, I'm going to see AC/DC 1982. You're looking at guys still playing, being passionate. The show, Angus was playing great. The band was great, which I was really happy about.
Yeah, same. I was blown away. I was front row at Wembley, and like you said, I think people have this preconception of I'm gonna go and see it. Oh well, they don't sound like they did in the 80s. Of course they don't. That was like 40 years ago. Of course they don't. You know? And
Great to me. I was like, you know what, Brian Johnson, and he looks like he's having fun. And I'm sitting there. I mean, sometimes you sit back and go, damn, man, look at that. And it was incredible. I was right by the soundboard, like the whole show. It was amazing.
it was just absolutely blown away. Well, this is the end of part one, so everybody make sure you stay tuned because I'm gonna keep chatting to Tommy for a little bit more.
So that is the end of part one. Now, if you are wanting to catch part two, then you need to sign up to my Patreon page. So you need to go to patreon.com/GlamRat, sign up to the top tier, and you can see the rest of this awesome interview with one of the most incredible musicians on the planet. I'm so happy that Tommy took the time out to chat to little old me. But like I said, if you want to have a nosy at that, you need to get subscribing. Hit the link in the description below, and I might give you guys a little bit of a sneak preview.
It's hard when you're sitting in a room with all three of them. It's like, and you're trying to keep all, it's one of those things. And I'm the guy going, this is pretty funny, because I just sit back and I wish I could record all of this stuff. You know what I mean? Like on video, because there's so many fun moments.
Fly on a wall. I would love to be in that room.
Well, there you have it, GlamRats. And until next time, catch you later. Bye-bye.